Do you ever encounter language barriers in your travels? Do you speak Spanish or other languages fluently? That's a good question. And I think that is a roadblock that doesn't exist, that people create for themselves. And I mean, you can, even from a personal standpoint, like I've spent a lot of time in Medellin since 2015. Sometime, well, in 2019, I spent almost a whole year there, but I'd spend, 3, 4, 5 months a year in Medellin. And I've never learned the language. I mean, it depends. If I'm like at a restaurant or in a taxi or a hotel, someplace where I got a lot of practice, then yeah, I can speak Spanish to the point where I can get my message across. Like I can order a coffee, I can order food. Or I can tell a taxi driver where to go. That's not a problem. But I couldn't have a fluid conversation with someone. There's no way. And think about that. So one thing that I did in Medellin is not only spend a lot of time there, but I started my own TV show in Medellin, where I was not only the producer of the TV show, I starred in the TV show. And I don't speak Spanish. And so what we did is it was with me, with Joaquin and Angie, and obviously they speak Spanish, they're Ecuadorian. And just whenever I had a part, I would speak and it would just be in subtitles. And then they would respond sometimes in Spanish, sometimes in English. And if they did it in English, there would just be subtitles. And the show was still wildly popular. And so my point is, I think a lot of people in life tend to create roadblocks that don't exist. And they turn, they make mountains out of molehills, if you want to use that term or that phrase. And I think if you just say, screw it, and yes, it's outside of my comfort zone, but you realize that you're not going to gain anything. You're not going to grow in life professionally or personally unless you're outside of your comfort zone. And you embrace that and you take the bull by the horn and you see that as a challenge that you can tackle and overcome, and just see it almost jokingly. Like, how many people would go down to the local TV station and try to pitch the executives, mind you, who speak Spanish, and have to take a translator and say, listen, I've got this great idea. I'm going to produce a TV show for you. I'm going to star in it. And I don't speak a word of English. No one, or not, maybe not no one, but very few people would be willing to do that, because they'd say, oh, I can't do that. I don't speak Spanish. They're just going to laugh me out of the office and blah, 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 blah. Where I saw it as, this is a no-brainer. They're going to love it. I don't care if I speak Spanish or not. We'll just make it happen. And these shows are wildly popular in the States, so they're going to be popular there. And I don't know the first thing about producing a TV show, but I'll figure it out. And I'm going to make the best TV show they've ever seen. And we're going to get the best ratings ever. And I truly believed that. And we got very close to achieving those objectives. And so I think as an entrepreneur, you just have this mindset where you shoot first and ask questions later. But I think if people had more of that mindset in their personal lives, they would do a lot better as well. Let's talk. I don't really talk about this too often because it's not really applicable. But I dated a few gals in Medellin and that didn't speak a word of English. And I'd go out with them, and I knew that I didn't speak Spanish. They didn't speak English. I don't care. Like, I could care less. Like, we're going to go out. We're going to have a great time, damn it. And I'm going to make sure we have a great time. I can promise you we're going to have a great time. And every single time, we had a blast. And I don't need to speak the language. I'll make it happen. And so you get my point. I think that don't worry about the language, man. Just dive in, baptism by fire, and just go down there. Whatever you want to do, Brandon, do it and just make it happen. And you'll learn as you go, and you'll figure it out.